Hey guys, this is Cody and I'm back here again for a review, and today I'm going to be doing a review for a new short horror film called the Tailypo. And this film was directed by Cameron McCaslin, who you guys may remember I did a review for his film The Last Man, which I really enjoyed, and I really enjoyed this film as well. But one thing that's cool about this short is that it's actually nominated for Best Short Film at the Rondo Hayden reading it on my screen, the Rondo Hayden Classic Horror Awards, which is really cool. Congrats, Cameron, on getting your film nominated for this. Very, very cool. And basically, you can vote online for his film. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link down below to his short film, and I recommend everyone go check it out. It's a really enjoyable short. And I will also leave a link down. Well, I won't leave a link, but I also put in the description the email where if you enjoy the film, you can head on over to the email address and you can vote for the film. But yeah, basically the Tailypo is about an old black man who lives out in the woods with his dog Jasper, and you can tell that he's been there for a very long time. You can tell that he's a country boy type, and he's basically lived out in the wilderness for, like I said, a long time. In the opening scene, he's hunting with his dog and trying to find some food. So you know that he basically lives off the wildlife and lives off just living, being away from civilization and just going out there hunting with his dog. And he sees something moving in the woods, and when he shoots at it, he ends up shooting off its tail. Now he doesn't get a good look at it, so he's not sure what it is. But later on that night, he goes back with his dog and he starts heating up the, heating up the tail, and he's cutting the meat off and making a stew out of it. And they start hearing some noises. And the dog starts whining and barking, and he tries to calm the dog down, saying, there's no one out here other than just me and you. We haven't seen any animals here. And then he sort of starts to think, that he hasn't seen any animals in, say, 2 weeks, which he finds kind of odd since they're out there in the woods and he hasn't seen an animal in that amount of time. But they keep hearing different noises, and he just starts to think that it's just, just random noises out in the woods. But later on that night, they head to bed, and they keep hearing these noises, and it sounds like a voice keeps saying, "Give me back my Tailypo." And I'm not going to go any further with it because I don't want to spoil anything. But I really did enjoy this short. I thought it had a good build up to suspense. I also really liked the setting of it. Like I said, it's out in the middle of these woods, which I always like stories or films that are out in the middle of the woods. Because there's both there's a beauty to the woods, just being out there in nature, but there's also always a bit of a creepiness to it, For someone like me, I actually grew up in a house that was actually close to these woods, and I would always remember really enjoying going out there in the woods and, running out there like with my cousin or whatever, and, I always enjoyed being out there in nature, but then at nighttime is when it changed, and that's when the woods has always been sort of like, I can see a beauty to it, but there's also a creepiness. So whenever a movie is set in the woods, I always, brings me back to that in a way. And I think it's a great setting for a horror short or a horror film. But yeah, I thought like I said, I thought the suspense built up very well. You didn't know exactly what was out there until the very end, which I thought was great. And then when you finally do see the actual, creature, I guess, it's pretty good effects for it. And then when it's finally revealed, it does have a bit of a goofiness to it, and I can kind of tell that, Cameron sort of made it look that way, because it's, it's just this crazy looking creature, and it's not something you would expect, because when I started watching it, I didn't know what to expect from it. So when I actually saw it, I was like, whoa, that's it's a crazy looking creature. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good short film, and I think it's one that you guys would enjoy. So like I said, I'm going to leave a link down below to the short film. It's on his YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out. And if you guys enjoy it, then like I said at the beginning of this video, you can vote on it. I will leave a I'll write down in the description the email you can go to, but I'll go ahead and say it now. It is taraku@aol.com. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that. TARACO@AOL.com. I apologize for not saying that right, but like I said, I'll write it down below in the description box. Like I said, check the short film out if you think it sounds interesting, and if you enjoy it, then send an email over to the email address that I left down below and vote Tailypo for best short film. And I really hope that Cameron gets it, because I can tell he's a pretty talented filmmaker. Like I said, I really enjoyed his last film, The Talisman. I think he put a lot of great effort into it, and I think he put a lot of good effort into this one as well. So feel free to check it out. I'll leave a link down below to the film, and feel free to if you enjoy it, then send an email to the address below and vote on it for best short film. But anyway, guys, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick review, and thank you once again, Cameron, for sending me this letting me know about your new film. I really did enjoy it, and I really hope that I really hope you win, because I think you deserve it. You're a great up and coming filmmaker, and I really think that you've got a lot of talent. And I think that from seeing other people seeing this and seeing The Last Man and your other work, I think other people can see it as well. Anyway, guys, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.